Hi, my name is Morten, and in this video we will be talking about Marketing Foundation. Marketing Foundation allows you to set up campaigns and discounts so your users will be persuaded to check out on your webshop. So in this video we will show you how you can maintain your different discounts, how the different rules can be set up, and how you can prioritize what campaigns evaluates first. So let's dive right into it. By accessing the marketing navigation over here in the left of the navigation tree, you'll be able to see campaigns grouped by your stores. So if you have a multi-channel store with multiple stores, then for each of the stores you will see what are the relevant campaign items under here. If you just have a single store, that information will be revealed directly on the marketing node in itself, so the stores node here will not be visible. Good. If you have some existing campaigns that you don't need, you can always just delete them by clicking on the node here and click delete. But let's try to set up one from scratch so you can see what the different things are you need to configure and how it impacts the system. So I'll click up here in the marketing node and click create campaign. And let's try to do some shipping campaigns so you can get a sense of a real life scenario that could be set up using this. In this case, I want to have my campaigns valid throughout December, so everyone can get a chance to get their Christmas shopping done before you go for the holidays. And now I can then select what the store I want to support for these campaigns are. Either I leave this blank and it will be relevant under each store, or I could choose to select a specific one. In that case, this campaign will not be available for the rest of the shops. I'll choose to leave it blank and enable it right away. In this case, my campaigns that I create has actually nothing to do with the actual triggering of the discounts. This is just a group of campaign items that I want to create, and a campaign items is the rule that contains the actual value. So right now I just have a running campaign without anything in it. That's what we need to configure now by creating additional campaign items that defines the rules. Before we dive into that, I want to talk a little bit about prioritization of the campaigns, because you can prioritize in what order these campaigns are evaluated, which becomes important when we take a look at the configuration of the campaign items. So by clicking on the marketing node here again, I can click prioritize campaigns. And now I can drag and drop the order in which I want my campaign items to be evaluated first, going from top to bottom. What it means is that if I have default campaign first, then all the different campaigns running under here will be evaluated against the order. Once all the campaign items has been evaluated, then my shipping campaigns will then be evaluated. So you can prioritize what campaigns run first. It will not have any impact on how the discounts are applied, because the all discounts are applied on the order totals before the discounts has been calculated. What that means is that if I have stacking discounts, then it will always take, for example, 10% off the order total based on the entire order total without any discounts. So it will not give you less and less discounts. It will always be based on the original order. Good. So I save this up, and now let's try to create some campaign items under my shipping campaign here. In this case, I want to create a shipping campaign that gives you free shipping in case you purchase for a specific amount. So that will be free shipping over 500. Let's save it. And the first thing that I can now configure on my campaign item that will contain the rules are a definition. And definition is basically the ability to add more information on the campaign items that cannot be configured out of the box. If you don't know what definitions are, there's a separate video for that you can watch, which will explain more in depth what a definition is. In this case, you just need to know that a definition is possible for campaign items as well. And next comes the allow additional discounts if this discount is awarded. And this is where the priority of the campaigns and the campaign items becomes important. Because if I choose to leave this blank, then if the rules that I set up down here in my campaign item setup gives me a discount, then no further discounts will be possible to be assigned on this order. That's a good idea in case you have some discount types that give so much discount that you will barely break even on your order. In that case, you can limit your user's ability to retrieve additional discounts afterwards. So if that's the case, then you can choose to leave this blank. And that's where the priority really comes in important. First, the priority of the campaign, and next, the priority of the campaign items. So on my default campaign here, I have 3 rules set up. If I click on my default campaign and click prioritize, then you'll be able to see that I can again drag and drop the individual items under my campaign here. So I say that 10% voucher is evaluated first, then the product voucher, then the 20% voucher. So then it will be default campaign, then 10%, then product voucher, then 20% voucher. In that way, you can limit and access how they are evaluated against each other. And I can, of course, enable and disable it as well. So that's sort of the base configuration for a campaign item. Still, I haven't really done anything. I just have a running campaign without a campaign item that contains any rules. To set that up, you need to configure what we call the Advertise, Act, and Award, or the AAA model. And that's sort of the customer journey that your visitors go through. See your great offers, get persuaded to purchase something, and then get a discount based on what the rules are. So consider a web shop the same thing as going to a physical brick and mortar store. You need to advertise with all the great deals that you have on your web shop. In this case, that's what you can use the Advertise column for. And here it's also very, very important to say that this Advertise column here is a more complex and advanced usage. It's not required at all. So you can set up your discount rules without using the Advertise bit here. The complex part becomes in the fact that you need, as a developer or having your web agency that's building your web shop, create some functionality that actually adheres to this Advertise column and shows information based on that. What it does is that it will figure out what you're looking at right now. e-commerce automatically do that, for example, by saying, okay, I'm looking at a particular product page now, so give me all the relevant campaign items for this product. That is, for example, all the campaigns where this product I'm looking at right now will affect that product. In that case, I will be able to set up the products here as the Advertise bit, and then select whatever product that I want to advertise for. That could be, if you purchase this product, then you will get free shipping. Then you may be interested in showing that on that particular product page. In that case, you just unfold and select your product and click Save. So now every time I visit the product page with this product on it, then you will get the context of this campaign item, and then using the definitions, for example, you could set an image that can then be shown on that product page. But of course, you don't want to show it for all other product pages, and that's why the dynamic context we set up here comes in pretty handy. But again, as I said, this is not something that you have to do. You can use it if you want to, otherwise just ignore it. Let's do that for now. And just know that the campaigns and campaign items will run just fine without this advertise part. Then the next thing that I need to configure is the act. So that's what will the customer do before they actually retrieve their discount. So that could be, for example, purchase within this store. If you have a multi-channel setup, that can make sense. It can also be product catalogs that you need to purchase from, specific categories, specific products. Apply a voucher to your order or to your basket. Buy for more than a certain amount, or buy for more than X products combined either on the order line itself or on the entire order. And then it can also be purchased within this price group or select this shipping method. And then the last one here, dynamic order properties, which is basically just additional information that makes sense for your web shop that goes on the order. So that could be what kind of user he is or something similar. Then you can use dynamic order properties as well. In this case, I want to set up free shipping for over 500 of the order total. And of course, if you are giving your users the ability to purchase from different currencies, then 500 is not the same as Danish kroners as it is in euros. In that case, you can also further set up a rule that says 500, but within this price group. But let's just keep it with a simple setup for now. So the minimum order amount should be 500. And if I have for more than 500 in my basket, then I can give an award of some sort. That could either be a free gift, that could, for example, be a sample product that you want to send as well, or something completely different. And then you can do fixed or percentage amounts of the different totals of the order. That could either be the order total or a total on the individual order lines to give a specific product more discounts or something like that. And it can also be percentage of the shipping total, which is the one that I'm interested in right here. So I set this to 100. And that gives me 100% off shipping total if I have a minimum order amount of 500. And as I said, if we are purchasing within different price groups, I can set that as context as well and say here I want to only give that on euros. So right now my campaign item says if you buy for more than 500 and you are using euros, then you will get 100% off shipping total. The last little bit that you can configure here, customer must satisfy all targets or customers must satisfy any target, is basically means that you can say I want all of these to be true, which it is right now, or I just want one of them to say yes or no. That gives for a little more flexibility in terms of setting up your campaign items. And that's sort of the steps you have to go through in order to get a running campaign. UCommerce will automatically figure this out, which means that as a developer, you don't actually have to care that Marketing Foundation is active or not, unless you, of course, are using the advertise part. But UCommerce will automatically sit underneath the surface and do its job just fine without you caring about it. You just add your products to your cart, and then UCommerce will figure out the rest. So this is really advanced. You don't have to start out by using the discounting system. You can launch your website without it, and then as you go, figure out I want to have some campaigns active on my store. Then you just set them up, and it will start to kick in automatically as you go. So no need to have this in your V1 of your web shop if you don't need it. But as said, UCommerce will just kick in and do its job once you activate it. Regarding the rules that you can set up and combine them with the awards, basically UCommerce don't care what kind of acts you have or what kind of awards you have. You can combine them in any given way that you want, which allows you to set up most of the common use cases that exist out there that you would expect. In case you find a rule that does not belong here, or you find a rule that that you need but will not be possible without custom code, then developers and web agencies will be able to create their own either targets or awards based on whatever you need. One great example of a customer that did that was a company that was selling winter tires, and they wanted to have the discount based on the temperature in the air. So they set up a web service that said if the temperature in Denmark was 25 degrees, then the customer would get 25 degrees in discount. So that's a great example of real life business logic that was applied directly into UCommerce by extending Marketing Foundation. So that is possible as well if you find a case that's not possible with what's out of the box. And that's it. That's how you can use Marketing Foundation to give your customers discount. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.